changing of the times regarding. I talked to him about that. He told me the other day, and I was like, you know, I've known him.
All right, you are good, Chris.
We're good?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I will call to order the March 27th zoning board of appeals meeting. Definitely quorum, so we're good. So tonight's agenda. First item on the agenda is the actual approval of the February 27th, 2025 minutes. Everyone has a copy of those. Any comments or questions on those minutes? All right, do we have a motion for the approval of the February 27th, 2025 minutes? So
I'll make a motion.
Very well. You want a second?
Sure. Second. All right. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Any opposed? First up on the agenda is the culture area variance. So I'll let you guys up, and then first, before we start, can I have a motion to open the public hearing for this?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And so this application is for an area variance at 1065 Cheese Factory Road in Honey Falls, consisting of 1.57 acres. Looking for requested relief for section 260-106. Construct a two-story pole barn with a 33-foot 8-inch front setback. Code requirement is a 60 front setback. So it was posted and listed, but just wanted to mention that. So welcome. Love to hear a little bit more about your project and what you're looking to achieve.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We were here a couple of years ago. And we had an addition built on the house. And it's a very old house. I think they're structure. Almost
1824, I think.
Yeah, it's very old. So it's just really expected. It's close to the road. We're able to build that. And now the second phase of the project is to get rid of our garage. You had a 2-bay garage with a shop in it, and it's in rough shape. I don't think it's 200 years old, but it's got to be 70 plus. So the siding is bad, the window frames are bad. It's sunny. Yeah, it's falling apart. There's some concrete on the floor, but only partially. So we're parking on gravel, and there's nice in there. It's just an eyesore. Garage door is falling apart. So I could go on and on, but so what we'd like to do is knock it down and build the whole one. But as Christian mentioned, it's 30 feet back in the road, 30 feet, 33, we're at 60, but this is the only place that we can build. I did take some photos, so if anyone's really interested, I can forward them. You can see, but the ground slopes steeply down to a creek in the back, so it would take an enormous amount of grading. Get that 60 feet back. Even if you did do that, the junction box for the septic is in the garden directly behind the garage, so you'd have to build on top of that, which would require us to, I guess, pull the whole thing up and relocate it. I'm not sure where that would go. So between the slope and the septic back there, there's just not really an option to put this anywhere other than where it is right now.
Does anyone have any questions or?
Is the height of the garage can be taller than the house, the residence?
Yeah.
A fair question. Not sure what the community is, the house is, but I don't believe that. Hold on. Actually, I'm sure.
Probably very similar.
Did you have plans for the barn already?
Yeah, they're 20, it's 20 foot 10.
Oh,
Yeah, we're,
Plans for the barn, it's, well, it's mostly gonna be a garage, it's a two-bay garage with a shop. And we are gonna have storage upstairs, because again, it's a very old house, and it's very small, so,
no attic in the basement's wet, so
yeah.
this will be the only place we have that's really secure storage.
And my mother-in-law is planning on going into retirement soon, she's got a pool table. You had no place to put that, so imagine the pool table is going to go upstairs. Structure.
So the front line of the new building is gonna be exact location the old building was? Okay, I see on your plans, and on your addition, it's got standing seam metal roof on it, so does the house. Barn's gonna have the same
Same.
horizontal siding, the master house.
It's gonna look 100 times better.
Yeah.
And it's gonna scooch a little bit away from the addition because it's very tight right now, so it's gonna look much better.
Six, it's a, I think it's right, 6 foot. Yes. Well, get a gurney.
Mhm.
Anyone else have any questions on that one? Yeah, do you guys want to speak up?
So are you gonna finish the second floor totally? It's later.
Maybe at some point in the future, but right now it's.
Okay.
We'll probably drywall it. Put some pieces later.
Just to confirm, the cement pad that you have there today, it's like there's some parts that are kind of cracked and broken and like. Is that gonna get all replaced and match I call it the character of the new building?
Yeah, we're going to replace it.
It only covers part of the existing garage, well,
Right,
1.5 bays of the existing garage are gravel, so.
correct. Is it going to be like a uniform
Yeah,
concrete base? Okay. Just
yeah.
want to confirm. Okay.
It'll be real.
No other questions? Do we have anyone online that had any questions?
Nope.
Anyone present have any questions? All right. Well, thank you. Well, we're gonna move on to the next agenda, but we'll probably discuss that afterwards and consider if we'll take action on it tonight. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Any other discussion? Do I have a motion to close the public hearing? All right, all in favor? to close? Aye. All right, so our second agenda item is the Colley area variance. So do I have a motion to open the public hearing on that one?
Make motion.
I can, I've actually got here with you. All in favor, to open it?
Aye.
All right. If you need just for the benefit of online and whatnot, just state your name, so.
Sure. Good evening. My name is John Sharaba with Lantec, representing the Colley family regarding this application. Colley's owned this property for 4 years. It's part of the Barish properties that were once owned here. They also own, if you're familiar with Topspin Drive, there's a project that was approved last year by the planning board for a 2-lot subdivision over there. This part was actually the original part that they wanted to build on. But then when they started pricing their home, they realized, oh my God, times have changed, cost of construction. So the Topspin project actually funds their dream home on this parcel. The parcel we're talking about is this 10.1 acre parcel. It's a pre-existing non-conforming parcel. So this is a standalone tax number that's existed since 1963. So we went to the planning board for our site plan for the home to be built in the back. And during that process, Corey said, oh, geez, I messed up. You need a variance. You don't have enough frontage at the front. So instead of arm wrestling, worried about pre-existing non-conforming and things like that. It was just easier to come to the zoning board, we felt, and, ask for relief from the lot width. So this is only a 60-foot wide lot. 60-foot wide lots, plenty of room to do an entire subdivision. You can put a track back here with 60 feet. But you know, your code's your code. So the whole plan is to build a single family residential home. I did bring the site plan if you have any interest in looking at that. But that's really why we're here tonight. So there's no change in the character of the neighborhood. There's no physical and environmental change with granting this variance. You know, it's just, it's gonna remain as is. So I don't think, and I really don't even think it's self-created by this, because it is standalone existing parcel. So anybody that wanted to build on this, even put a shed up, would have to get a variance. They wouldn't be able to get a building permit. So it's kind of a unique situation in my mind. And so with that, I'll try to address any questions you have.
Start with your questions.
I got one.
All right, go ahead, Tom.
On your application, we've got alternative methods. Say it's a pre-existing lot, which we know. And it says to purchase adjacent land from adjoining landowners. The Collies own the 20-acre parcel to the
Yeah.
north,
Correct.
so you wouldn't have to purchase any land to do a
Yeah,
administrative
they want
resale.
to let that stand alone. And it is a little bit of a hardship purchasing that. You have to do a subdivision, file a map. There's added cost for that.
Well, it'd be administrative resale. No.
Yeah,
planning
that's, as a
board.
licensed land surveyor, everyone thinks that. They call it town, they call it town of Roanoke or town of Mendon and tell them, oh, it's just administrative, it's easy, but that's not the hard part in the world today. Filing a subdivision map at the county clerk's office, even if you want to change a lot line between two properties in a subdivision, it's around $3,500 just to do. And that's because you gotta go to health department, other
Right.
county service, you know the whole game, so.
Mhm.
Tom, you think. So that's where it's, we talked about it a little bit. They really, they're starting a family. They have plans that maybe their kids would want to build up on another lot someday. That's why they don't want to do it.
But it would create two conforming lots by doing it
They could,
and require no variances whatsoever on anything for either lot. So,
so it's an additional cost. I think you are right.
I noticed on the plans that we were shared for the home, it would also require an access easement to that lot as it would stand anyways for the driveway, since the driveway would go into the other lot.
We do that for aesthetic reasons. So if you've been to the lot, you drive along, there's a tree line that doesn't follow the property line. So we thought instead of bring the driveway up along that, where there's a natural lane right now, it really fits the character of that, so. That's why we did that.
And with the, I guess with the grading of that line, it's pretty steep right there. It comes from really the trees down into that open
Same with
field.
the proposed houses.
Yeah, like this tree line, it's a down slope towards like this. The opening.
Yeah.
The road going into the, like those trees. That's pretty steep itself, so there's a lot of land work that have to. Kind of occur to. Facilitate even putting a driveway with. You'd have to really hold back a significant amount of soil to do that.
So, I guess to your point, yes and no. So we actually took a really hard look at that because we had the benefit of going to the planning board, had town engineer comments, so there's a 10% minimum required slope, and we were able to achieve that with the current changes to the plan. So we haven't gone back to the planning board, but these plans have gone back to MRB for review. So we've actually flattened that slope. So there isn't a significant increase, and we already have minimal grading along that line. It's gonna follow the natural slope. So.
Did these get sent to the fire department that you know of?
Yes, yep. The fire
Yeah.
department, they're currently reviewing they went out there and walked the site with Corey as well. They haven't received at the time that they walked, they didn't receive the revised, but now they're reviewing the revised ones.
We also incorporated 2 fire department turnarounds, one right here, and then one within the kind of the courtyard of the garage.
I'm looking at this still and what I was looking at on paper was that to just square off from this back corner, straight down this tree line, still allows for an adequate level of frontage to this lot. I know we talked about this up, but it gives you 350 plus feet of road frontage on this lot. It also then allows you to have 156 feet of frontage on this, making both fully conforming for their use.
Yep, so to your point, I guess what we're asking for is a variance. We could do this. I'm saying that to you, that it's an economic hardship to do the subdivision. There's financial cost to it, there's changing property lines, and it's a 20-acre lot, so I can survey for 20 acres. So I want to survey this part. It's a different order of surveying, so their cost, you put it just roughly, let's say it's $5,000. I know that's not a big deal on the scale of things. It does extend the timeline. And so, there's other hardships, I would say, to creating that. And I think the fact that, and I'm not an attorney, with the fact that it's pre-existing non-conforming, I think has some value in my mind, but I have to research that. I understand your point. We're still pushing for the variance. We would have skipped this whole process.
Guys, any questions?
What's the property owner's, use of the northern lot to the north?
Right now, his father-in-law hunts it extensively.
So it's undeveloped.
It's undeveloped. And there's some other encumbrances to that property. There's several depots that are beyond that steep slope wood lot. So they really don't have any plans at this time. Again, they're starting, they have a young family. They're kind of building their dream home and working hard. And they've been good stewards of the property, I would say. The Farish original house they had, they fixed that up extensively across from Topspin. And obviously putting roots here, being good neighbors.
Anyone else have any questions? Anyone present? All right. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. So, we made,
Will you be making that decision tonight, or how is this?
I'm not sure. We really don't know. I think we're gonna talk through it and see if we want to get to a resolution on that, or may have more questions than that.
So that's, no more input from me at this point. To help you with these maps.
Okay,
Oh, you already have one.
And we have a copy of the maps too.
Yeah.
So. I think, we've got a couple of the copies of it.
I can see these, I'm just, if you're benefit. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
We need to close the public hearing. Okay. Do a motion to close the public hearing.
A second.
All in favor? All right. Do we want to discuss we'll start with the Kolsch application for variance? Do we want to take any action on that one tonight? Discuss further?
I think we can.
Anyone want to make a motion or discuss that? Yeah. So a motion on the table to approve. Do we have a second? Okay.
Who made the motion? Sorry.
Just in a second by
okay.
Tom.
All right, so I will read a draft determination with a motion for a grant and approve. We'll go through the draft of that as it would pertain, and then we can walk through the 5 questions and answer those with supporting context. So for the coastal area variance determination, Just use first names on it. Dustin moved, seconded by Tom, that the area variance requested by Matt Kolsch for property located at 1065 Cheese Factory Road, Honeywood Falls, tax ID number 223.02-1-11, zone RA1, to allow a 33.8 foot front setback for a pole barn garage, which would replace an existing dilapidated garage where a 60-foot front setback is required by the town code. Being approval is, it is a motion to approve based on the following. Whereas the above property owner appeared before the zoning board of appeals at the public hearing on the application on March 27th, 2025. And whereas the town of zone, I'm struggling. Whereas the town of Mendon zoning code section 260-106 requires a minimum front setback of 60 feet. And whereas the application was sent to the zoning board of appeals attorney and town code enforcement officer for review. And whereas this application was sent to the Monroe County Planning Board for review pursuant to General Municipal Law 239-M, the application was returned as a local matter with comments. Whereas the zoning board of appeals held a public hearing, the public is given the opportunity to comment on the application. I'll just note no comments were added. Now therefore be it resolved that this application constitutes a type 2 action under SECRA and no further environmental review is required. And be it further resolved that the zoning board of appeals has weighed the effects of the requested variance against the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood community, and hereby the motion is grants the application based on the following findings. The request can or cannot be achieved by other feasible means. I would make a recommendation that it cannot, given that they could leave it to rot or fix it up on the existing, but it lacks a suitable foundation and there's not a adequate lot capable spot for them to do construction work.
Yeah, the big issue is the septic system is behind it.
And probably predates
Mhm.
conforming capabilities. Okay. You deal with that, David?
Sure.
Okay. The request is or is not substantial. $47, so I would say it is. Because it is roughly half of the right, I guess required setback.
It is substantial, but it still sits way back from the front line of the hall.
Yeah, what is the front line? 12,
12 feet.
15, yeah. Pretty close.
I'm very close. Well, that, I asked, these are my neighbors. I live right around the corner. That corner is up the line corner, and 75% of the time someone's in your lane and you're crossing over. So that was my concern, is the sight line up the road. I don't think it will. That part, that was one of my concerns. It's a very, very dangerous turn.
Will the request will or will not have an undesirable change in the neighborhood?
It's a
Will
Will not
No,
improve.
that's a comment. That area.
Good point. So it will improve the aesthetics and also common with other structures in the correct area. The request will or will not have an adverse effect on the physical and or environmental conditions of the neighborhood or district.
Will
Say will not, it's being effectively rebuilt right on the same footprint of the existing. The difficulty is or is not self-created. Is their desire to build. Do we want to consider any conditions? So the line there is in, be it further resolved that this approval is conditioned upon the following. Do you want any add conditions? I was gonna note that the The plans themselves call out that they will use the same roof material, colors, set of materials, but it doesn't hurt to just
Inside.
insiding and just leave it in there. I guess I didn't directly call out, and that may be my miss, but I didn't directly see a concrete foundation discussion in the plan, so that was the only other that it just requires a full footing for their actual foundation side of the whole. So that's kind of straightforward, so I just want to make sure that I wasn't using the existing flip.
So what are the conditions you'd like to see?
Roof, siding, materials are in. Conformance with the existing house structure and addition.
That shouldn't be an issue, because that addition was done in front of the street.
All right, so following this discussion on the resolution, so we'll take a roll call vote. So all in favor of the motion to approve this application based on the answering the questions and also those conditions. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That is unanimous. All right. It brings us back to the poly area of variance application. Do we want to take any action on that one tonight? Or do we want to look at anything in addition on this?
The fire
We're
department.
looking at the new guy, right?
You may want, I mean, for what it's worth, you may want to wait to get the fire department comments.
that was my,
If you care about that,
yeah.
right?
I was going to see what the fire department is. I'm concerned about the grade, even though that it's, I think you showed a 7 degree.
Yeah.
What it showed,
100%.
I'm still concerned about the actual like erosion of soil there and also the driveway support. I feel like that could still be the easement access and
Yeah, there's. You know, granted, it's a non-conforming lot. There's a possibility of making a conforming lot without a variance.
making both conforming lots.
And just to understand, he wants to go put the driveway on the adjoining lot, right?
Yes.
But he doesn't want to change the subdivision. It's easier to do the easement. That's what he's proposing.
It's cheaper. Yeah, that's the reason. To build $1 million house in the middle. If you're concerned about erosion or things like that, do you want to? I mean, you have the right to ask for, you know, an engineer or consultant on our end to opine on that. You're qualified to, you know, make your own lay opinion about that. It's up to you.
I think it makes sense to wait for the weigh-in of the fire department and then also just check that. From the soil side. Is there?
Definitely the fire department.
So we need to do anything or to make a motion on holding that or anything?
I take motion to table further discussion until you have additional information. And I don't know how long that will take or when you want to put that back on, but
Okay.
you know, make it the next meeting or whenever, your discretion. Right. Whenever you get the search. Yeah, just know that you have 62 days from when you close, so today.
Okay.
To make a decision, and if you don't make a decision within that time frame that the people, then no action, so that did not help.
All right. So I guess we'll make a motion to table that one.
And move the table
Right.
discussion. Pending further.
Second,
Second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye. Do you want to, does the planning board have any thoughts on this particular issue? I mean, they looked at the site plan, obviously, so they, they might be better positioned to opine on the topography issue. I don't know. if you want
Have
to
they-
give a referral. Come before the board at all yet?
Yes,
They did?
yep, they were on the last planning board meeting, and they're actually, we have them on the agenda for next week, April 2nd. I guess I'll reach out to the planning board and see if they would rather wait until they are granted the variance prior to, or if that's gonna be a condition that they would be.
I would suggest that you ask them to consider the topography issue. Because they would have looked at this probably seeker part of it from an environmental standpoint.
I know that was one of their main concerns, was the
Yeah.
topography and,
So if they don't have an issue with that, that might factor. Or you may raise your own, which if you don't, you want to find your own conclusion, you're welcome to do that too.
Um. I guess, do we have any upcoming applications or?
no upcoming, nope,
Oh.
so
All right.
whenever a hearing is needed for Collie.
Okay, I think we'll just have to wait to check in
Yep.
on. that.
Fire department comments and planning board and. Okay,
Cool. All right, do we have a motion to close?
I'll make a motion.
All right, second,